Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Northfield Select Board meeting on August 19th, 2025 at 6:01. And Tyler, thank you for that new intro to our meetings. It looks great. Okay, 6 o'clock. Michael Pacini, would you like to come up? Absolutely. Short trip. Excellent. So, Michael, you're here for the building maintenance and grounds position appointment.
Yep.
Let's see, Andrea was involved and David?
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys want to speak to the
Misha
selection process? And
Misha was going to be here tonight, but she couldn't because of a conflict she has with the
The
library.
library
so
has another meeting.
we wanted to
Yeah.
talk about the process and experience. And
The process was we had several applicants come through and the cream rose to the top and we were able to come to an agreement. One person's loss is the town's gain, so here we are.
With Michael. Great. And Michael used to be the custodian at Northfield Elementary. So, and you live in Bernardston, so you're really familiar with the area. Great.
the job description, the job is sort of got a lot into it, so it's going to take a while for us because we kind of updated it. As you recall, we kind of changed the job as well as Michael's coming into it, but I'm sure he's going to rise to meet the challenge. And where we all think there are things to grow, he's very graciously said he's happy to take any training. He, in fact, would love to learn more skills. So we're hoping that we can all do this. And Misha's very excited to have someone working more closely at the library again too.
Yeah.
So
I know we're really excited about getting a proactive list as you get familiar with the buildings of what needs to be maintained on a regular basis, so that it's clear to everyone that you're working with what might be coming up, like an elevator inspection or the filters need to be changed on the air machines, things like that. Yeah.
So for the citizens' information,
Yep.
what buildings are going to be covered by this, and where is his office going to be, or his main location, that sort of thing?
well, we have a space that has been the maintenance position, it's behind the stage to the left. There's a room back there. It has a work table. We'll take him
town
back
hall.
there and
Yeah.
in the town hall, and probably will need some rearranging. And it's going to take him a few days to situate himself. There's a vehicle that that is already assigned for this position, and it holds all the tools that this position has. So he'll also be able to look at that and see if there's any new things that we need and update that. So he will be obviously doing the building here at the town hall and the maintenance here and overseeing hopefully some projects, as well as actually doing some small projects. He has experience in some of the things that we haven't done in the past, like doing the floors, like getting the floors downstairs done. It's been a good 5 or 6 years since we've had that done, and he's got way more experience in that.
Done meaning refinished, done meaning polished?
They're tile. They're those, I don't know, industrial
VCT,
tile. Right,
VCT.
right. And we haven't had that done in a long time. Those could use some work. Plus, we have the project for the women's bathroom, So
Oh, right.
I wanted to wait until he was on board to work on that scope of work and get that project underway so that he would be there from start through the working with the contractor. And then various other little things that need to be done. If you look overhead, there's a little piece that's fallen off the trim around that light. A few other things to investigate. And then we have routine maintenance, obviously, like you mentioned, the filters for that. And obviously we have elevator inspections, and we have fire extinguisher inspections and various other things. Plus, he will then be working at the library as well. But here he'll also do some outdoor work. He's going to do some grounds maintenance. Tammy does her best. It was never part of the custodian's job, which hurts her during the summer season. She works less hours inside because she has to take over doing the lawn work. So we have that, and then also various things, looking at the steps, looking at the pieces around the building, and maintaining.
Like the Boy Scout house, did you talk about?
We haven't yet. We'll have to. That's a whole nother project. But but right now,
I mean, it's not the first thing you need to do. But at some point, you'll be seeing like this whole thing over here needs some work.
so we can start to work into projects. But
So it's separating out maintenance and fixing from cleaning, which is the custodial
correct.
job.
She's still going to do the cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning the, sweeping and mopping, and she does empties the trash, she gets it to the dumpster, recycling it, like she does all that, goes in the offices and does that kind of thing. And then he'll also be at the library doing much of what they need, custodial things, the routine maintenance that they have, including their elevators and their area handlers and all that piece, as well as outside for them.
So the custodian is only the custodian for this building. He's going to be the custodian for
No,
the
they have a
for the
custodian
library.
at the library.
Got it. Okay.
So the custodial pieces are separate. This is more, you'll work with the custodian on projects, and hopefully they'll identify projects and bring them that are really beyond the cleaning piece as well. So that'll be working closely together to make sure that things are getting fixed. We've had everything from the door plate gets smashed or the light switch plate gets smashed and needs to be replaced. That's minor. To hanging shelves. There's things that pop up periodically, as well as the routine maintenance. Yeah. And we've got some spreadsheets that we are starting, and that hopefully he'll be able to work with to start looking at planning some routine checks, from gutters to, roofs to things like that, all the way through.
Good.
So
Any
the
other
work
questions?
orders will go directly to him now?
Right.
Okay,
For
Mike.
when he starts, we're going to start. I have to get him a new computer, and that will be my next piece to do. But originally, we'll start with the paperwork, which we'll put him in the box. But then I will get I'll get the new computer set up and the email back on, and we'll start that process. And then he'll also be able to be reached by email from various other entities.
I understand there's some free courses that might be at the tech school.
I haven't talked to him about
Oh,
that yet.
okay.
I was going to approach him about that. I have the thing, the flyer,
Oh.
if he's interested.
Okay.
Do you have his letter so
Yes.
we can do the motion? Are there any other questions?
Do you have any questions of us?
Yeah.
Not that I can think of right now. Certainly not.
He came in several times and asked questions, and we talked and wanted to make sure that he
Good.
was good about that.
Okay.
No, I always appreciate it, because then there's clarity, as opposed to, wondering if people really know it, they don't talk to you since they're hired, since their final interview, and you're like, do you
Absolutely.
really understand everything? You do really not have any questions? So it's better than when they come in with questions and say, how does this work? How does that
Yeah.
work? Then you feel like you're on the same page.
Okay. Well, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Michael Bocchini to the position of Buildings and Grounds Maintenance with the town of Northfield. This is a full-time benefited position. The rate of pay starts at $25.55 per hour, grade 7, step 2, starting on August 31st, 2025. And then there's other things regarding vacation, et cetera, all listed in your offer letter that Andrea went over with you.
So moved?
Excellent,
Second?
excellent. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you and welcome.
He has a packet for you, and then we'll be in touch.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So are the two custodians with part-time jobs?
Yes.
Yeah. Michael Smith. Michael number 1 and Michael number 2. Hi, Michael. So you're from Trinity Solar.
Yep.
And you and I spoke a little bit before the start of the meeting. Do you want to just talk about what you're doing so everyone's aware? Because don't be worried, but you are on camera, so people at home watch and know what's coming up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically my job to go out in the community and find folks who are interested in going solar. And so, yeah, I've been doing it for about a year and a half. I've been doing most of my work in like Berkshire County, Heath, Coleraine, Charlemont.
Okay.
So I live down in Greenfield, grew up in Whately, and I'm just excited to kind of start in Northfield. I know a few people who live here, and it'd be nicer commute than an hour west.
Yeah. But this is good. You're getting to see all the different size towns, especially along Route 2, because they're a lot smaller and more spread out.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions?
So how do you go about it? You go door to door, or you solicit people? How do you work?
So I would go door to door.
Okay.
And
So do you leave like flyer in their mailbox to start with, or how how does it proceed?
It generally proceeds, well, I will just knock on the door. I'll talk to them, see if there's any level of interest.
Okay.
And then the next step would just be like setting up an appointment where I come by, answer any questions, sort of run through how the program works. And once that's complete, in about a week, I go back for a second visit with the actual results of the solar evaluation. So what's great about this is that, when I come by the first time, there's no decisions to be made. I don't bring any solar panels in my car with me. So it's just sort of a easy introduction.
Okay.
I know a lot of concern folks have with solicitors is that they're aggressive and hard to turn away, but that's just not my style. I found in my experience that, you honey over vinegar. And my number one concern is just not to upset anyone. Because I know especially people in like rural towns, a lot of them have never had someone come to their door before. It can be kind of,
You won't find that here because we've had 3 other folks doing exactly what you're doing for different companies. So what you might find is, I've already answered this question. Do you have an area that you're planning to canvass?
not particularly. Like I've been busy working in Heath, so I haven't like taken a close look at Northfield yet. I try to just, spread myself around the whole town so that no one misses out on the opportunity.
Now, are you selling outright, or are you putting solar panels on people's houses and then renting them back or something like? There's some program like that.
So we do have access to that program.
Mm-hmm.
We offer both. If someone wants to buy or loan, they certainly have that option.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity has access to a program where they don't have to pay anything up front. There's no money down, and then they immediately start just saving money on their electric bill.
So you produce electric with your solar on their roof, and then they get a reduced rate for electric.
Correct. But they also get to, all these energy credits stay with the home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's theirs to, that's how they, pay their electric bill during the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the general idea, is that, they don't have to pay anything for the solar. We're the ones responsible for upkeeping and maintaining them. And then they just have a price protected electric bill going forward.
Okay.
Has your company done anything in Northfield at all?
I'm sure that we have. I could look right now, but I'm not sure exactly how many. I was speaking to a colleague who was working in here about a year and a half ago, but he was just mainly doing just lead generation, so we weren't sure how many people actually contracted. But we've been very busy in Western Massachusetts. I mean, Trinity Solar has been around since 1991.
Might be good to know that, because if we have some people that have already participated with the solar company, you could use those as references.
That's generally a good place to start. Like when I go to a new town, I like to look up some of our installs, check in with them, see how their experience has been. And then, you're absolutely right. We have a referral program also, so it's a good opportunity to mention that to them.
Okay. All right,
This is
and
for a limited period, right?
yeah. Michael, you had indicated when we spoke that you were thinking about doing 3 days a week between August 20th and September 3rd.
Correct.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve Michael Smith from Trinity Solar application for a temporary vendor's hawker and peddler license for 3 days a week, starting August 20th through September 3rd. And hours of operation, what we've done in the past, Sandra, remind me, it's like 8 a.m. to, or 9 a.m.?
8 to 4, or, I don't know, Michael, do you kind of avoid dinner hour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
thing. Generally how they do it with the summer months, since it's lighter and longer, sometimes we'll stay out there till like 6 or 7, just because, it's still light out. You still find some people who are just getting home at that
Yep.
point too.
Yep.
I kind of just go by when it starts getting dark out, is when,
Okay. And what time do you start?
usually not until 1 or 2,
Okay.
something like that.
So why don't we say 1 p.m. through 6 p.m.? Would that
That'd be
work?
perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, that's the, Sandra, did you get all that for the
I got 3
motion?
days a week, August 20th to September 3rd, 1 PM to 6 PM.
Correct. Okay. Can I get a so moved?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent.
Thanks for a good explanation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Good luck.
we
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Of course. All right. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Since he's gonna start tomorrow, can you guys sign that and fill in?
Yep, hang on one second. Yep. Got it. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to EMS. Matt and Tim. And we're just going to acknowledge that Todd Zernick and Jake are here as well. Thank you for having the whole crew here.
Thanks for having us back.
Yes, so we're going to start with the captain of operations position.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us an introduction to that and an introduction to Tim as well?
Sure. So it's been 11 months, almost a full year since I started, and we've done a lot of small things, but as we've proceeded through the structure, restructure, organization of Northfield EMS and continued to grow and understand what's going on, one of the things on top of the need for more staff that I've sort of been able to evaluate and identify as a need is to fulfill some more administrative type support for me within the organization. When we had originally started, if you remember, there had been a administrative assistant role, and there were a whole bunch of stipends included within the budget prior to me taking over, and tasks were delegated. And I'm working to try and streamline that and structure it in a way that there's some more responsibility to some individuals within the organization, accountability for certain things, also to provide support for the staff at the times when maybe I'm not here, even though that doesn't seem to happen very often. But so moving forward, what I'm proposed and have found I think is going to be very beneficial to us is to solidify this operations captain role, which I provided a job description for. The operations captain is going to be responsible for helping me with the development and finalization of updating our policy and procedure manual, which I've been working on for about 11 months now, looking at daily operations, scheduling, day-to-day sort of challenges that go on, incident oversight when I'm not available, resource management, outreach to the other agencies in my absence if necessary, and another person within the organization on top of Captain Zernick who can help us to move things forward and sort of shoulder the load and give me a little bit of support and communication as well with the staff.
May I ask a question before you go on? I just want to clarify something. So you said that there were, and I remember this when we did the hiring, that there was, as part of the department, there was administrative assistants and stuff like that. Is the salary that was earmarked for that now going to this new position? Is that how it's going to work?
That is part of
Okay.
it.
That's part of it?
It's like,
Nice segue.
it's like we've worked together for a while. We're like melded. It's beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, kind of looking at the structure and the salary budget and everything else, of course, I want to not have a negative impact to what we've already put in place and approved for this year. So the roles and responsibilities will be sort of clarified. It'll give some more direction for us. And where I'm making this move now with some future ones that I'm still working towards is that we're going to utilize Tim's experience. I'm going to start on his introduction a little bit. Tim's been with us for 8 months now.
November, I
No,
think.
since about November as a part-time paramedic, and has been wonderful as a clinician and as a new set of eyes to help us look at things within the organization. He has a degree in EMS management and brings a wealth of experience and knowledge, as well as his stint as an interim chief officer for another service. And so building on all of that experience and knowledge and bringing that with him here will help bring some outside information and vision to us. We're doing that within sort of what those stipends were in the budget. So rather than paying out individual stipends, we've developed and discussed a compensation package that will sort of fit within that section. So we're not asking for any change in money or budgeting for the salary. We're just bringing him on board, giving him some more roles and responsibilities within the organization.
Right.
And I think that will do us even more benefit than bringing in little pieces like an administrative assistant to do paperwork and one person here or one person there. And it should offload a little bit so that I can focus back on some of the other things that I need to be focusing on.
Well, not only that, when you take time off, that you have somebody who has had chief experience in another organization, I think that's absolutely critical.
Yeah.
And I think you've had tremendous support from the entire crew. I know Captain Zernick and Jake Whitney have been stalwart employees over the last year.
Yeah.
But it is nice to bring Tim on board with a degree, interim chief experience in Deerfield, so in a busy location with a similar service. I just think this is a huge milestone. And it kind of reminds me too of the police department after Chief Hall got settled and he started looking around at his organization and determined that he needed a sergeant and a detective. So is it somewhat analogous to that?
It is.
Okay.
I'm not able to quite move as fast as Chief Hall was, where he put into the detective and the sergeant positions all at once. So I expect that I will be back speaking with you once I can figure out the rest of this puzzle a little bit. But with having 2 full-time open paramedic positions on the clinical side and Tim being interested in coming into that full-time role with us as well, this is kind of the appropriate time, in my opinion, to make this move as well as bring him on board full-time from his other full-time job.
I think maybe the more analogous position would be the highway department, the highway department second, right? So Tim is going to be in charge when you're away. He can catch the balance so that you could go on vacation, hypothetically.
So yes, some of it will be it'll be spread over two roles eventually.
Okay.
But with the hiring of Tim, I wanted to make sure that we had these roles and responsibilities solidified. I'm working on the rest of it for the organization.
Because the police, the detective, and what was the other one?
Sergeant.
The sergeant and the detective, those were existing, and they were getting like a bonus for having more
Correct.
school, and instead we said, let's give them this extra little niche responsibility, but it wasn't a super large increase in salary either.
And we had a total of, I have it here, 7 different stipended roles prior to
Yeah.
my tenure. So I've taken some of them to put them in place, and then I'm going to take, once I can wrap my head and articulate the rest
That
of
might
them,
be a separate.
we'll put that in
Yeah.
place.
And so
as
the little sum that you're taking, you're adding it onto the role of the full-time paramedic.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
so it is similar, and then as the sergeant, Oleg fills in for Chief Hall when
Correct.
he's out, so it is similar in that respect.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
not
Captain
exactly,
Zernick has been doing that for me in the couple of times that I've been able to step
Yep.
away for a couple of days, and I'm sure he will continue to do that.
Yeah.
And we just have to be able to
Well,
articulate that structure, and I apologize, I just didn't have enough bandwidth to get it all together for you.
And so
all
that
in
means
one
we're in the
meeting.
hunt for another part-time paramedic now then, right?
We're still in the hunt for another full-time
Full-time.
paramedic, another full-time EMT, and yes, we are still looking, and that's part of what I'm hoping will be able to be focused on more now for me, is that I can go back. Sandra has a stack of some applications that I need to be able to review, and we need to get some screening together
Yeah.
and figure out exactly how to put all those pieces together.
well, this is nice, because Tim's already been working for.
Tim, is there
Northfield.
anything you'd like to add?
Yeah,
No, I'm excited to come on board. I've worked with Matt for quite a while, or I've worked around Matt for quite a while, and as soon as I found out he was coming up here, it made me kind of want to come up here myself. So I'm eager to take out this responsibility and just, take a different step in life. So
good.
And it looks like you have this specific training, the admin degree specifically for EMS, right? The EMS.
yeah, the degree is it's a half split on like business management, like accounting and like payroll management and stuff like that, and the other split on EMS operations. So like everything to do with managing operations and stuff.
Sounds really useful.
It was
We're very
helpful during
excited.
my time as interim chief. So.
Great, any other questions?
No?
Can, I just need so first we're
The
approving, we have
Paperwork.
this is a two-stepper, thank you. So, first we're approving your captain position. So can I get a motion to approve the captain of operations position?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then our next appointment will be offering Timothy Drumgoole as a position as a full-time paramedic to the EMS department effective August 24th. Thank you. 2025, the rate of pay is $37.81 per hour, grade 10, step 8, given your experience. And then all of the benefits and specifics that are listed in your offer that you've gone over with Chief Wolkenbright and Andrea Lamas. Okay,
So moved.
thank you.
Second?
Thank you.
I have a question. Is there, as far as the benefits, is there a town automobile involved in?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Would you be sharing then when you're
Just the
not here? He
ambulance.
would use yours?
Right.
There is the potential for that, and that's some of the stuff we have to look at operationally
Yeah.
going forward, but
Great.
not right now.
Excellent.
He is not being asked to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week like
Why not?
I am. Not yet. Let's get him hired.
He'll be doing paramedic
kidding.
intercepts from, All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank
you.
Congratulations.
Before you go,
Yes, ma'am.
we're supposed to be having a quarterly
Yes.
regional, and it's way past the quarterly time.
September.
It's the first
It was
quarter.
in May.
No,
No,
it didn't happen
no.
until July 1st.
Yeah.
We're in
September
the
is the
first
first
quarter, July,
And you
August,
will be
and,
getting an invite shortly.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
200 and something hours in the last pay period delayed me from looking at calendars.
I hear you. I just finished my
apologize.
master's, so.
It would
Also,
be the end of September.
we wanted to
the first
do
quarter.
Yes.
toward the end of the quarter because we want to look at what's going on with his numbers.
The first
Yeah.
full 3 months of
Yeah.
the new.
New
So-
version.
New facility.
Right, so
in the
after,
fiscal year.
Yep. And thank you to everybody for the temporary housing. It's spectacular for us. We are so appreciative of it. So thank you for your support and the community's support of that. It has made a huge difference for all of us.
Good.
yeah,
Glad to hear it.
thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Bet.
you.
Have a good night.
Okay, on to fire. And the crowd.
In the front.
This is impressive. Yikes. Do you want to introduce everyone, Mike?
So, I'm Assistant Chief.
Yep.
Mike Quinn. These are all new firefighters that just went through our 12-week program. And I'm going to touch a little more on another little thing that we're kind of proud of also.
Great.
Zach Zielinski, J.D. Stockwell, James Greenlaw, Jaden Hunter, and Nate Feast have all done their training with us. They've all been through all the 3 months of the discussion, the brought up discussion, voted on by the department, talked about all that. So we are happy to have them, and they're all, most of them are younger than me, which is great. Maybe they all are. Most of them. 3 of them, Zach,
Yeah.
JD, and Jaden, are also came out of our junior program.
Nice.
They've been our junior
Right,
program for 5 years since they were 13, and the second they graduated high school,
Yeah.
they were eligible for membership, and they did the training and got on. So that's kind of the fruitions of our labor, fruit of our labor, maybe you want to say, that we've been working on. So it's very nice to have the young guys there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's family connection too.
There are. We have
Yep.
Jaden's brother and father are both officers on the department. Robbie's a captain.
Yep.
Tyler's lieutenant. And Nate, actually, his brother Jake is also on the department. So yes, family ties.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
That's great.
So how many members are on the fire department?
With this addition, I think we're just 28, 27, 28. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we're right there. So
Is that adequate enough?
it is. It is. We can hold, our bylaws say, or whatever we call them now, 35.
Okay.
We did that when we got the ladder truck because it was a whole nother crew that we could potentially use people for. That was a few years ago. So yeah, no, I think we're adequate, and I mean were all of you just at that call?
Yeah.
We just had a car accident down on 63, and every single one of them were there.
Oh.
So obviously instant help.
Yeah.
I think that's great in this time when you're having trouble getting volunteers.
Correct.
So I commend you on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
And
bucking the trend, Mike. Yeah.
We are trying. We are trying to
Good.
be as successful as we can. It seems to be working so far.
Well, and congratulations to them for finishing the training.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
it's
Speaking of milestones.
Right?
When do you guys start? May?
Yeah.
April? And they just got notified last week.
Good.
So they stuck with it. That shows that they are in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
Good. Okay.
Well, guys, I appreciate you volunteering, really.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It's an incredible service to the town, and we appreciate it.
I believe you need, that's 3 more.
Oh.
I thought I was only going to have 1, but I ended up with 3 more.
Oh, good.
Personnel package. Sandra?
Do you have Jaden on your list though?
Yeah, I have Jaden on my
Okay.
list.
Give it to Sandra.
Sandra?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think,
Thank you.
yeah. And was there an application in there for Nathaniel?
Should be.
Okay.
Well, so some of it had already, do you already have some of it,
We
Sandra?
have some
Yeah,
of
I
it.
gave her all the ones that I got
And
from
I think the
Skip.
rest of it I just had just now.
Okay, good.
She's only missing, you're missing one, right?
And I think that was JD's, and I believe that one is there now.
Yeah, she can look and see.
Okay.
Okay, let her just double check
Yep.
and then, yeah, because when I went down, I don't think you were there, I stopped in and Skip was going through his desk and he pulls out a folder, and it's like a thick folder. I'm like, it's all done, great, I'm gonna give it to Sandra, so.
Yeah. We had to get like a
Yeah.
driver's license copy from somebody. We
There
can
might
do
be
that
like a
on
couple
site.
of signatures or something, but we're good. Okay, do you
good.
want to do the motion, the appointment? Do you want me to do it?
I just, quick,
Quick question?
quick question.
Yeah.
Just to bring it up since you're in.
Mhm.
We're supposed to be rewriting the bylaws and regulations.
Yep, that's on another.
That's on
well,
another,
that's a
I know we're not
Okay.
gonna discuss it, I just
Well,
wanted to bring it
yeah,
up.
we were gonna add that if Skip was able to attend, but Skip has a conflict, so we
Okay.
pushed that to.
Okay, I
Skip's
just
gonna
hadn't
be-
heard
we'll
about
let
it,
you off the
so I
hook.
Yeah.
wanted to make sure we were
Yep.
still moving forward.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
that's all, that was my only question.
Yep. And
Yep.
I'm anticipating Skip might be at the next meeting.
I think he will be. He
Yeah.
is on a little mini vacay with the family in Maine right
Good.
now with the
He needs
grandkids.
it,
So.
yeah, he needs it. Okay,
You have the names.
yeah, oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
Can I do them all at once?
Yeah,
Why not?
Okay.
and their terms
I
expire,
motion that we make fire department appointees rate at $23.07 an hour. Terms expire 01/30/26. James Greenlaw, Jaden Hunter, Hunter Hillock, Kevin Rogers, Jeremiah Stockwell, and Zachary Zelinski.
Kevin's right. Is it, Kevin didn't make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kevin's not part of it.
Kevin's not- okay,
So we're
strike
leaving
Kevin.
off Kevin.
So it should be
Mhm.
6 total.
Okay. and
So
then-
Hunter's not here.
And Nathaniel
Feast.
Feast.
Yep.
Okay.
So it should be 6.
Okay,
Second.
thank
You
you.
want a second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Congratulations and welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
We love to see EMS and fire together
Oh,
at
we
a
just
select.
we just spent the afternoon together, so.
Oh, yeah.
And we do, she will send out a letter that will tell you all to come and get sworn in with the town clerk, because you do have to
Yeah,
get sworn
yeah.
in by the time.
Okay.
But a letter
Everything
will go
okay
to
with
you
that
all.
accident?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
For what it was, she self-extricated, and I do not believe there was very many injuries at all. So, very lucky.
good.
Yep.
Glad to hear it.
Yep.
Was this the first time they were all seeing like an accident?
Yes.
First time?
It was
Up
their first
close?
accident, yep.
Whoa.
Yep. The other one, you guys, a couple of them made it to Winchester last week on another brush fire they had right next to the other big one that they had
Yeah,
back in the spring. So
yeah.
it's nice to have the young blood to crawl up and down the mountains.
You used to
You
do
go
that.
on
remember?
ahead, I'll be right
Yeah.
behind you. Excellent,
So,
good.
yes.
And we'll have Skip back and we'll delve into more fire stuff. So the focus is on fire this year for sure, in a variety of different ways, building and otherwise. So we'll do a catch up with Skip when he gets back.
Very good.
Great, thanks
All right.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. Okay, payroll warrant.
Okay.
You ready to roll?
Yeah. Motion to approve the 8/6/25 payroll warrant of $92,300.37.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the 8/6/25 vendor warrant of $132,703.43. That includes the temporary EMS housing.
Second? You need a second.
So moved.
Oh, second.
He
I made
he did the motion.
Second.
Second.
Third.
Fourth. We could do the 5th, too. All right, pick one.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 We're gonna have fun.
Motion-
Yeah, we are.
Motion to approve the 8/20/25 payroll warrant of $90,288.11.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Don't get me laughing.
Motion to approve the 8/20/25 vendor warrant of $149,428.60. That includes health insurance and MassWorks.
Second.
Yeah. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Aye. What am I saying? Yes.
Look, I
Okay.
already said something. What do I do?
That's right. Was it the right thing? Okay, review and approval of the minutes from July 29th, 2025.
Motion to approve the minutes of July 29th, 2025.
Motion and a,
Second.
thank you. All those in favor? Any discussion? All
No.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain because
Okay.
I wasn't there either, I was staying.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, now we're on to our update status of Linden Avenue. And I think I'm going to cut to the chase. So we had a discussion, I'm looking at the, our folks from the Ridge, Carol Ziegenhagen and Robert, did I get that right? Yeah. And I'm going to give a big thanks to Sandra, our town secretary, and Andrea, our town administrator. They dug through the files, and there's actually quite a bit on Linden Ave. And Andrea has summarized that for us, and it's pretty lengthy. So I'm going to cut to the chase, which is the recommendation at the end of the notes.
Perhaps we could share the memorandum with them.
Potentially, yeah, we're actually, when we get to the recommendation, the key thing is the details that are on here are going to be discussed with you and other residents on Linden Ave. Right, so the recommendation is, because Andrea has also spoken with Tom Walker, who's our highway superintendent, and Tom has some observations and concerns about the road that really should be discussed with folks. So the suggestion was to do a site visit with someone from the select board, the town administrator, and Tom Walker, and meet with you at the location so we can actually see what everybody's talking about, including what Tom wants to point out, so that everybody's synced up and clear on potential next steps.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that as the representative because I
Good.
do the highway department stuff.
Okay, and if for some reason you, like your schedule prohibits that, just let me
It's
know.
clean.
Yeah, good. Just let me know and I'll be happy to substitute.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, so you'll call us about a date.
If you could leave your contact
Yeah.
information, email, phone number, whatever, and I'm going to try and send an email around and get
We'll get synced up
the
on
bodies
time.
in the same time zone
Right.
and try to set up a meeting when everyone can be there. So if you can leave that with Sandra, then
And
we
any
will
like
reach-
really hard limitations for your schedule,
Yeah.
like if I can never meet on Tuesdays or whatever.
Well, I'll reach out. I'll try to put together like a
A doodle.
Oh, when
doodle
to meet?
poll with a bunch
Okay.
of different times and everything, and then we can choose and see if there's one that works for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we should share the memorandum with them before we meet because it has all the history of all the things.
Mhm. We can, once we get their
Okay,
emails.
maybe you could include it on the email?
I can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we just didn't have their emails.
Because that was a lot of work and it might save trouble for everybody to have read it all.
Well, we just wanted to make sure we read it first and we were,
Right.
yeah. Okay. Alrighty, on to the next thing. Highway, and this should be a quickie too, now that you're free. So Andrea and I were talking with Tom, so they're ready to go on hiring.
Yep.
And that needs to be scheduled because they've had a couple of, 2 or 3 applications that have been kind of on,
Hold.
yeah, and so.
But everybody had their independent jobs, so I know they were all contacted. So yeah, let's do the, do we want to plan it right now?
So you ready? Is there a? I mean, I'll start by
As of
reaching
now.
out for next week for do screening as early as next week to screen.
Yeah, and you'll have to talk with Tom about where he's
Yes.
at with, because he's
We
still
can work
on
the day
Highland.
from that, but hopefully he'll have some time
Right.
next week,
Yep.
one day.
Thursdays are not good for me, but other than that, I'm free.
Okay.
Great. Okay, Northern Tier Passenger Rail Letter of Support, that was in the packet. Everybody should be familiar with this. It's been a long ongoing project and MassDOT has really been doing quite a bit of work on this and have been working closely with Senator Comerford and others. So we'd like to do a letter of support for that effort. Any other discussion or info on?
No, I think you have a copy in
Yep.
there if you guys, I mean, obviously if someone wants to change it, we can do that, but then we'll have to wrangle you all back up if
Yep.
you saw anything. But they did ask us, the FERCog reached out to us, our legislators, to please provide a letter of support. They're trying to get the western communities to support this, because if we don't,
Why bother?
Yeah.
right.
Why bother? So for the citizens' sake, what are we being asked to support?
We're being asked to support,
An application to the Federal Railroad Administration Corridor Identification and Development Program, that's a mouthful, for the Northern Tier Passenger Rail. And this is the first step, the necessary step to move the project forward through railroad.
So what does the project do, though?
It would be to connect
it extends
the
rail.
to
railway
west.
all the way out to the Berkshires.
Yeah, east to west.
Oh, okay.
So it would be
So
coming.
it's a railroad extension?
Yes,
It is,
yes.
and it's
Yeah.
the railroad extension that essentially comes out the northern tier. So it would be from like Worcester through Route 2,
Basically
stop in
In
Athol,
parallel
stop,
to
right,
Route 2, kind of.
and
yeah.
run out to the Berkshires.
Yep.
All the way to North Adams, I think is the.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? It says, let's support this jargony thing that nobody knows, and so I think it's important for the
That's fine.
citizens to know what it is.
Yeah.
That's why we're bringing it up.
Yep.
My concern with this,
Yep.
like with any of these, with the T and any of the other things, is this is really just a money pit. It's never gonna make money, it's never gonna break even. To me, we're just spending money that we're not gonna get back. And I just, with issues with trains running, with delays, you see it down in Boston with all the money they put into their rails and their system, you see it all the time. It's not
That's the
reliable.
MBTA.
Is this a commuter?
Still.
Is this an
Yes.
equivalent of a commuter
It's not
rail?
like Amtrak, it's commuter rail.
Yeah.
Commuter, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I
like,
just, anything like that, it just waves, I'm just mentioning my
Yeah,
feelings.
right.
It's waving red flags for me.
okay.
And the
Okay?
money comes from our state tax dollars, or is it federally?
Probably
I don't
both.
think they've gotten quite that far yet. I think
Okay.
there'd be some federal funding going. This is basically to get through the process at the federal level to get the railroad on board to go to the next step. You have to remember that much of the rail is already there because they're stopping at existing stations. So we're not talking about necessarily in every place building completely new rail because there's already a station, for example, in Ethel. So train rail already goes there. But some of it has not been utilized or updated or.
It's being
certain-
used for.
Some of it's not used at all, and some of it is in use for
Not passenger.
not passenger.
not
rail.
Yeah.
And some of it now, there's only one rail where there used to be two.
Right, so
There
there's,
used to be one for each way, there's only one rail now
I
in
see.
some sections.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
The thing with this, though, as far as doing it, if you have transportation that's fairly inexpensive, that you're coming from east to west, that would bring more people to the western part of the state.
Correct.
And yes, it is
Another
it's not a
reason to vote
break,
against
it's, you're not gonna make a lot of money on it. But what it does do is allows people a different way of transporting themselves. I know that, if you go into Boston right now, I will go and take the T into Boston. I'll drive to one of the stations and take it in because it's easier to do that than to take my car into Boston and spend $50, $60. So I don't think it's ever been thought of as a money-making operation. It's been transporting people maybe a little bit easier, and sometimes what that does is brings more population back to the western part of the state, and we're seeing population dwindling out here. I mean, if that doesn't appeal to you, then yeah, I can see why maybe it doesn't. You might not go that route, but as far as money, it's never going to make a money making.
But I think also it might. I'm sorry.
oh, no, go ahead.
I think also. I mean, one of the things that I think of is, Boston is such a academic hub, and people could live in a cheaper place and commute their way into
Exactly.
work in some place that they couldn't afford to live.
I know several
Exactly.
people who do. They work several days a week in Boston and
Yeah.
live out here.
When I first moved here, I had a job in Boston, and it was a bear to drive, and it was expensive
Exactly.
to park.
And you didn't have to go every day. Some of them went 2 days a week or 3 days a week, so they chose to live out here, but they had to drive in. And so in terms of, I mean, I do know that this did get extended to Worcester. There was a big push years ago to do Worcester, and I know at least one person who changed jobs over it, and she now commutes in to just on the edge of Boston. I can't remember which
Yeah.
community, because she can now hop on the train every morning.
Well, the commuter
And-
rail now goes to Fitchburg.
Right, so she goes
So-
back and forth. So
Yeah.
it's not all the way to Boston. You're going to connect to where we already
Right.
are and move it east.
I would
and move
love
it
to park
west.
my car and take a train.
And so this is exploratory, and one of the things that Bernie wants to make sure is that we look at where the money's coming from.
I'm sure there'll be a
Oh, yeah.
lot more information on this
Yep.
before it's built. We're at the very beginning. I mean, the very beginning of moving the process forward on the state end, but certainly the next step of moving it forward.
And just FYI, we'll be having Senator Comerford and Representative Whips coming, I think maybe the end of September or somewhere in October. And this has been a project that she's been really familiar with, so we can also talk more with her about this. This is supporting MassDOT's application to the federal Department of Transportation. So MassDOT is now at the point where they're engaging with the feds.
Okay.
September 30th.
September
Senator
30th,
Comerford and
yep.
Representative Whips are coming to your meeting.
Yep. So I'll entertain a motion to approve and sign the letter of support for the Northern Tier passenger rail.
Second.
So moved.
Yeah, thank you. Any more discussion? Thanks for that perspective, Bernie, because there are some projects. MBTA is a whole different beast, I will say that. All those
But,
in favor?
but again, before we,
Yeah.
this is to explore it. This is not to say that we're 100% behind it. We want to see them move forward to
This is
see
the-
what it's going to cost.
I just think there's better places for the money.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Yep, okay.
That's
That's
it.
fine.
That's what we're here for, is a variety of opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Nay.
Okay,
You do have, I think, a copy of the letter that's
Yes, I
signable
do.
in there.
okay. Here we go. You want to pass that over? Okay, constable job description.
So basically, this is in an effort that our
Well, this has been one of
Accountant.
our goals to get
Right.
to
We're
making
getting
sure we have descriptions.
all of the jobs on our wage and classification schedule. When I started, and we still have a few, the firefighters being one, we haven't worked on fire yet, at sort of random amounts that were probably started, like part-time police officers were, $15 an hour, and then, but never classified. EMS wasn't until you just recently did them.
Right.
So the big change has been to get every position on the wage and classification. It's better to track, it's easier for the accounting. We don't lose track of people, wages go up, don't go down, because they're not falling on the schedule.
Right.
But in order to do that, we have to do job descriptions and get them classified. So this is the next one. We did EMS just fairly recently. The next one that we jumped onto was the constable. Since we just had a vote to change the constable from elected to appointed, it made sense to now get this job description created. What does it really do? And get them wage classified. And like I said, I think the next piece will be to look at fire as we do the fire department, get their positions named, job description, and classified. So that's why you're seeing this.
This is now appointed.
Correct.
Correct, it will be appointed after the
Yeah.
terms are
That's
up.
what I gathered.
And everybody's going to be on the same cycle too, right?
Not necessarily, we're hoping not. We're hoping the appointments will change that, because that was problematic.
That was the
Everybody
problem. Okay.
was on the
I knew it
same
was something about
Yep,
cycle.
yep, good point. Any other questions? Any concerns with or corrections to the,
I worked closely with John, the police chief, and Amanda, the town clerk, on this, because they both
utilize the constable?
utilize the constable.
Yep.
So, and we wanted to look at how much we have in the budget. The budget has been an amount, I have no idea how it was ever created, and we've just been upping it by COLA, but we haven't been able to tie it to a number of hours. So,
It's not on this, it wasn't on the salary
right,
grid.
so now
Yeah.
I said, how many estimated hours do you think you're gonna use them a year? How many estimated hours are you gonna use them a month? And we've arrived at that estimation, we've arrived at, our budget, so we don't think this is gonna have a huge budget impact, but it still has to be classified.
Yep.
So,
Okay,
once you do this, if anybody would like to be part of the classification process on this job, I usually have at least one select board member who participates.
So somehow, though, the salary was based on the police of some kind, because they had
Yeah, I
this
don't
strange salary that was different from election workers, or other people. It wasn't it was not minimum wage, it was more than minimum wage.
Right,
So
it
they
was-
would put on a schedule just like everybody else then.
So these would go back onto our classification
Yes, okay.
schedule, our
All
grade
right.
and step
I'm
schedule.
keeping everybody the same.
Once we get it classified. So,
Yeah.
but the only way to classify it is to have a job description.
right. So that should make more sense
Yeah,
as it's going through the FinCom, some of those line items that really were.
So we'll know how
more
many
historical.
hours, what this actually pertains to. How many hours a year, what's the salary, what do we actually need for the budget, rather
Right.
than just sort of carrying an amount along because we don't quite know the answer to those questions.
Right.
Now we will create the answer to those questions.
Okay, good. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the constable job description.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Does anyone want to be on the classification? I'm going to bump you, Dan, because I'm going to have Amanda do it, and I don't think two people from the same town clerk's
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
office should do
Do
it.
what?
To be on the classification, the
No,
one
no,
that
no,
wants
no,
to
no,
do
no,
it.
she can be
I've
on.
heard B say so many times that she enjoys that job.
I do. but I'm actually.
Anybody who wants, yeah, I send it all out, it's all done on your own time, and then I just get the results back and I compare them, and if there's discrepancies among people, we
Yeah.
chat about it in a Zoom, and then it gets, so I have a member of the finance committee, myself, I'll ask Amanda and John to each do a classification, and then
I'll do
usually.
Good, thank you. Okay.
I mean, I'll nominate Bernie.
I'll do it. No, I'll do
Do
it.
you want to
really.
duke it out?
I already said I'll do it.
No, I was gonna say something, you just beat me to it.
I do like the fact you're gonna nominate him.
Because nobody else said anything, I'll do it.
Happy to do it.
Okay,
Okay.
great, thank you.
Okay. It shouldn't be too hard, I hope.
No.
Okay, now on to a very problematic, it was a front page article in the Greenfield Recorder on health insurance premiums, the increase mid-year, not even mid-year,
Beginning in
not
the
even at
first
the end of
quarter.
the first quarter of the fiscal year, but okay. Do you want to walk us through, this is really to give the select board an update
Right.
on where we're at and what the issue is,
'Cause
in
you're
case
gonna-
you didn't read the
In
article.
case you haven't heard it or
Yeah.
seen it, and it's certainly going to affect our employees, because it's also, the town pays a portion, they pay a portion, so it also affects every employee who receives health insurance. They will
Yeah.
also go up their contribution that comes out of their share. So it's been very serious to us. The town belongs to the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust, as do most of the communities and many school districts and other public entities. It's a trust, an insurance trust. We all contribute. Our treasurer is our representative and voting member. And then that body, which has operated for many, many years, certainly 30 plus years, is a pool, a trust that pays, puts out to bid, and we have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then works with Blue Cross Blue Shield on the premiums and payments and all that. As you all know, health insurance has become a huge issue. The spikes in health insurance have affected everyone and every entity. They had seen a huge spike. A lot of it had to do with the weight loss drugs. Those have been banned from being covered, so those are dropped. But they had some huge changes this year that were unanticipated. So just so you know, we already saw an 18% increase in the July 1 premium voted in May. It's an 18% increase in the town's health insurance premium. So at that time, during the budget time, the treasurer and I incorporate the known change in health insurance rate. They get it in the spring. We put it into the budget. We account for each employee on the town's plan. And we build in an amount to cover the town positions that are being hired in the new fiscal year. For example, we have a new highway position. So we have to account for those in the budget. And we also protect the town from exposure by building in funds to cover some potential changes during the year for unenrolled employees. You have to understand that not every employee who's eligible for health insurance with the town takes health insurance. They are often on a spouse's plan, for example. So we don't pay for every employee.
But we
if-
budget.
But we have the option, we
Well,
must.
if they
we-
have a life-changing event, for
Right.
example, spouse loses employment or health insurance, they then immediately, we have to accept them enrolling. Otherwise, we have enrollment periods,
Right.
which they can still choose during an enrollment period to join, but they can't do it during a non-enrollment. But if they have a change, we have to take them. So obviously, we put some money in for that because we have to be cognizant of the fact that we have a certain number of employees, and it's a decent number that it could at any one time, several of them could say, oh, I need health insurance, especially in this time when we're watching health insurance go up everywhere. We're always very concerned that some spouse's insurance will go up way, and they'll say, oh, no, you know what? It's cheaper now to be on the town's plan. Let's go there. So we factor that in as well. Because we haven't hired the 2 new positions, we have some savings in our health insurance estimates for that. And because we have some funds for the additional employee coverage, we have a small cushion to absorb a large portion of the town's, because we pay 75% share. We don't pay the other 25%. It's an increase of 20 additional percent.
Wait, over and above the 18 that we already
Correct.
budgeted for.
38% you're talking about total.
Yeah.
Right.
So in dollars, what does that equate to? How much?
If you're paying 100, it's $38.
Well, it's a little hard to say. We've done, the math looks like this, but we don't have 2 people on, so I don't know what plans they're going to choose, so that makes a difference. Plus, we don't know what other people, if they come on, will choose. But it does, it does equate to something like $3,500 to $5,500 a month for us.
So $5,000 a month times for the whole, we just
Right.
assume that's for the whole year?
Right, but you also have to include the fact that we have MedEx employees who are retirees who are off our plan and on Medicare, but we do their supplemental. That increase goes into effect January 1st. So we budget a percentage towards that. So there will be another increase in MedEx, which we get every year, but we suspect it will be a
20%.
larger number than we would have anticipated. So we have to incorporate that in. So
Are we short? We're short.
well, we
Are we short?
probably will be, but we are not in the worst position. We figure that we will probably be fine to get towards the Maytown meeting. So we're not in a panic mode. Right now, we think we've got a pretty good sizable cushion, but most likely we won't be able to absorb all of it through the entire fiscal year because we're anticipating medics will also have an increase on January 1st. Talking with Michelle, we're recommending that we wait until closer to the end of the fiscal year, anticipating that coverage will fall short, and we can supplement it with available funding at the annual budget. Now, somebody could leave employment and we save on that. We just don't want to rush out and appropriate money or spend money when we don't need it yet. So we just wanted to bring it to the board so you're aware, so that when we start talking about this come February, March, as we start to do budget season, what those numbers will show up and look like, we'll have a much better sense, and we'll know what will be needed for the remaining months of the year.
Well, and also like in a family, you have this big expense. I was planning to buy a new couch, but now I had to go to the emergency room, and so the money that I was saving for the couch, I can reposition to the emergency room. So we've been putting aside as a town $500,000 for this EMS building. Maybe this year we put aside a little less than that, and some of the money then goes to the health insurance.
We'll
right?
have to look. We'll
So
look
it doesn't need to be just a plop on the top.
Right.
Maybe
We didn't want to go in and ask for a safe cushion number and tie that money up in say November when we don't know what that number is going to be, say come May.
Bernie?
Yeah, and we have 2 enterprise funds, which have indirect costs, and I know Matt
Yeah.
said he's got 2 positions still to fill.
Yes,
So at least that money for health insurance,
actually goes in their budget.
it's in their budget already, because once we set the rates, like the sewer, once we set our rates, we're not gonna change them. But we have a position that we aren't able to fill, which has some medical.
Which will
insurance
offset that bottom line,
to offset
correct.
it. Yeah, so there are, there's some balance, some little bit of leeway.
We also could have someone who goes on Medicare, say they hit 65 and they have to enroll and now they switch to MedEx, or someone's kids turn 27 and they go from a family plan to an employee plus one. Like, there's all these changes that happen during the
Yeah.
course of the year that could
Those
affect
would
this
be
number.
normal changes, yeah.
Right, and so rather
This
than
is
say, oh, we
abnormal.
need X number of more dollars to cover absolutely every
Yeah.
scenario, and for the positions for people who haven't come on board, because we'd have to anticipate them as well, maybe it makes sense to just, since we're not going to run out in January, to wait till we're closer to the end of the year and have a really firm handle on what that number looks
Does
like.
this look like it's going to be a trend, that it's going to be this, or is this a gap to fill that void,
Well-
and then from there on it's more reasonable?
It's a very interesting thing.
Hoping?
They're doing a big analysis on what happened, but one of the things that they noticed is that they were going along. People are like, how did this happen? They were going along, and all of a sudden, June and July had these incredible spikes in what they were paying. Totally off the charts in terms of, here's what we pay up and down, claims, whoo, whoo. And everyone was like, what? Now, they've done projections. They were way above projection. They're analyzing and talking about why did that happen. July, the most recent one, I think it was July's they finished, so it might have been April and May and June, has come back down closer to projection. So there was a real unanticipated spike for about 3 months that they're not quite sure what happened. So
When you say they, you're talking
The
about
trust.
the
Insurance,
trust.
yeah.
the trust, and we have a director on the trust. When they work closely, and there's a couple of staff people, and they work closely with our provider, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so they've been analyzing what the heck is happening, what happened with those months, and why were they so much higher than projected.
Right.
And you have to remember, we're part of a big pool, which
Everybody is, this discussion has been going on in all of the towns.
Right.
And at the FERCog level as well.
all their employees are members
And
of the
in the
trust.
school districts.
School is part of the
So the school
trust.
has a really heavy burden.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars shortfall.
Right, so,
They're working very hard to find it in their budget. So everybody's working really hard to find it in their budgets.
right,
And
everybody's
not go
scrambling.
back.
Yeah,
The sad thing is it hits our employees, because they're not gonna get any kind of ability. I mean, it's gonna hit them, bottom line.
so they get the increase on the 25%
25%.
that they're paying too.
Correct.
And
And they've all gotten a letter, you got a copy of it.
Yep.
So
Have-
they could try to explain to them.
Has anyone reached out and is
Not
in
to
distress
me,
over this?
And I
or-
have not heard from the
Okay.
treasurer that anyone has reached out to
Okay.
her in distress yet.
Okay.
But the letters have gone out, so people will see it probably in the next couple of paychecks, how it actually affects.
Okay,
their
so we're gonna
bottom line, what they're
keep
used
we're
to.
gonna keep an eye on
So we just
this.
wanted to bring it to your attention so you weren't
And did you-
unaware and shocked.
Did you say that Michelle is the representative, the town representative
Correct.
to the trust?
She
Okay.
attends those meetings.
Great.
They are public, I mean, you can attend unless they
Yep.
go into executive session if you so like. They do send out, they're all Zoom now, I think, pretty much.
Okay.
I have a big picture question. The trust, is it offering better prices than other places that are seen? Are we tied into the trust? Is there a way to, just hypothesizing, is there a way to
Nice
find
segue.
less expensive? What, I'm sorry?
I said, nice segue, because I'm
Oh,
looking at
this
her
is-
and like she's.
Okay.
You
I'm the
know.
segue queen today, evidently.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of answers to that. So there are a few, many of them when the state of Massachusetts have merged, because the smaller pools are struggling because of these spikes in healthcare. So a lot of them have merged, like there used to be, Harvard, and now there's Harvard Pilgrim, like they're merging because the bigger the pool, the
The more
softer
they
the
can absorb
landing.
this, Yeah.
There's been a lot of discussion this on the network that I'm involved in, the small town administrators in particular. They are talking about having a meeting. Some of them are talking about reaching out. There's a big process to reach out. You have to get claims history. You have to get a lot of information to ask someone to quote you a new coverage. The other big player in the state for municipalities is Maya, which is part of the MMA, but it's their health insurance offshoot.
Maya is municipal.
It's Interlocal Insurance Association.
Okay.
They do our property casualty, so they insure our cars, our vehicles, our buildings, and our workers' comp right now. But we have not participated in the health insurance with them. I sit on the Maya board. I sit on the Maya board for property casualty and the reinsurance board in Vermont. But I do not sit on the health insurance board because we do not participate in health insurance. However, I sit through those meetings. I cannot talk about the health insurance information. As you can imagine, it's very sensitive and very much done in executive session because it is proprietary. It's a trade proprietary
Got
thing.
it.
But I will say, and I think that's no surprise here, everyone is experiencing this. And when I mean everyone, I mean everyone.
Not just this trust. other
Not
trusts.
just
Everybody.
this trust.
Okay, that was my question, whether this was an isolated
Specific
thing
to
where
the
this
trust,
trust dropped the ball, or if it's across the
Well,
board.
some people have asked that. Well, how could we have ended up with this
Yeah.
in such a short amount of time? We're a little concerned about why we didn't have more than 3 months reserve. So there's a whole other discussion happening there, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of people going on with that.
Yeah.
But everyone is anticipating or has experienced unprecedented change. Now, the other big one is the GIC, the Group Insurance Commission. That is state-run health insurance. All the state employees belong. It is another one you can consider joining. It has tiers. It has a much more complicated structure. The interesting thing about the GIC, though, is if they get in trouble, and they did last year, state bails them out.
I see.
It's a state program. So there's a lot of talk
So
about.
we don't bear the insured don't bear the brunt of
Well,
a
they may do
mistake.
some, but they have the ability to appropriate funding. Now, it's not easy. They got to have a bill. They got to go to the House and the legislature. They got to go through a process. But ultimately, they are state insured as an insurer. The
Are we
state won't let them
tied
fall.
to the place that do we have a contract with them? I mean, how
No,
does it?
no. We are not tied to them. However, just be aware that when you switch, you have certain obligations to take historical people with you. So in other words, you're not going to switch to a new person and then say, for example, somebody who has very serious health issues, very expensive cancer treatment, you're going to be on the hook for them because your new insurer is not going to take them.
I didn't think that was legal. I thought you're not allowed to
No.
that insurance people aren't allowed to exclude people because
They won't exclude you, but you're going to have to pay something for them.
they'll
Because you're-
include them at a much higher
Right,
rate.
because you're taking them on as they're all of a sudden assuming, say you have a horrible record and your rates go up under somebody, so you want to jump to somebody else. They're going to say, wait. We'll take you at these rates, but because of your claims history, these are the claims you're going to have to contribute more for. You can't
I understand.
jump around like that to
Thanks
try
for
and.
clarifying.
So it is complicated. We are exploring it. We are talking about it with other members of the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust and on the other ear with other communities. So we'll let you know.
So we'll put that as something to come back to and potentially look at, do we need to take the steps along the lines of changing or doing something else?
So we're kind of looking for everything to
Yep.
settle and get on.
Okay. And it'd be good to get the history when Michelle goes to the next meeting of what
Right.
they thought actually happened. Okay, citizens' concerns, topics, no. Committee board appointments. I'll entertain a motion to appoint,
I have one thing.
oh, you do?
When we reappoint, I have no problem. When we appoint new officers, I'd like to see a citizen interest form or some sort of thing on the person. Just,
Oh,
that's all,
okay.
in the future.
For the
Well,
fire, like for the fire department, you mean?
No,
Oh,
the
for
election
anybody.
Like
officers.
the election officers, we have two of them, and I know very little about these people, and
So include them in the future, the
Yep.
citizen interest form?
Oh,
if we include them in
Yeah.
the future, I get the chance
I also have a comment about the
Yeah, we usually
about
do, I think.
appointments. I would like to add to the agenda to talk about making the finance committee an elected committee rather than an appointed committee.
They,
Thank you. We'll put that on the
yeah,
proposed,
they will put that
and we'll reach
under-
out to the FinCom. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I just want to see
Yeah.
that before
yep.
I add someone new. I'd like to be able
Yeah.
to take a quick look.
No, that's a good point, and
'Cause
I know that
And I probably have seen Barbara Bowen, but, just the name
Yep.
itself,
without paper.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
okay.
some of them
All right.
don't do anything, right? No.
Do you want to move on to the reappointments, and we'll come back to
Oh, I
that?
can-
Okay. All right, let's do a motion to appoint Barbara Brasser and Barbara Bowen. I was familiar with this, I'm sorry, because I had already talked with the town clerk. Terms expiring August 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And election, I would entertain a motion for election officer reappointments for Dan Campbell, Beth Walker, Jane Kilgore, E. Peter Vierling, Marcus Graley, Deborah Potee, Sandra Campbell, Christine Harris, Nina Sibley, Joe Gravelin, Elizabeth Whitcomb, Susan Secco, Misha Storm, and Victoria Lookshaw, terms expiring August 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain, because I'm on the list.
Oh, that's right. And abstained by Dan. Thanks for all those reappointments, too. And I'll entertain a motion to reappoint to the Board of Registrars Heather Tower and Pam Eldridge, terms expiring August 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Announcements. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, acting through its Department of Conservation and Recreation, otherwise known as DCR, has under consideration the acquisition of an interest in approximately 127 plus or minus acres of land in the town of Northfield. The property currently consists of undeveloped woodland. The proposed use is for the land to remain in its forested condition for conservation and recreational purposes. And we have a map entitled Exhibit A, which shows the property in which DCR is interested. And just a note, this is a private, the reason why this is an announcement, this is a private sale from somebody who owns the property to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, specifically the Department of Conservation and Recreation. And it's very much near, as you can tell.
The one that we just.
Yeah.
No, it's in
No.
different,
Oh,
it's
it's
near
not?
other land
the
they
other
have.
side.
but
This is off of Burnham, so if you're familiar with the trails off of Burnham, this is right next to all of that property.
Yeah.
So this is, yeah.
You've done this
Where's
before.
Burnham?
That's
basic-
private property, then they're
You
selling.
base,
there's
okay.
a
the
color
state
one.
requires that you guys make this announcement as a public announcement under the,
Because
under
if
the
it was
law.
our property, we've had people say, well, how come I wasn't able to?
Exactly, it's
but
not
no,
that.
this is private.
Yeah,
Private, okay.
Yep.
But DCR under mass law has to make
Because
this
you know
announcement.
somebody's gonna say that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, can you just hold up that map to the camera, because it's better in color? Yeah,
So this,
so the dark green is.
this is Burnham Road, right here.
Yep,
This is Burnham Road.
yep,
And then
it's the orange piece.
this is Commonwealth, where my finger is. And then this orange is, it's hard to do something
Yeah.
back
Right there.
The
Yep, we
orange
got it.
is the one that's being sold by a private citizen to the DCR.
And it really connects nicely, those two major green spots.
So this is Burnham, and this
Yeah.
is that big the parking area and
Yep.
fields right off of
Yep.
Burnham.
Okay, thank you. Good job. Let's see, and the other announcement, the
We have to-
deadline.
Do we have to work on that? Do we have to
Are
accept
we
that?
no, we just announce it.
Just
Yep.
announce
Just an
it?
announcement.
Okay.
Yep. The deadline for submitting comments on the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission's, otherwise known as FERC, consideration of the First Light relicensing on the Connecticut River is by 5 p.m. on August 28th. That's for written comments. And if you're curious about how to submit comments in writing, go to ctriver.org. Okay, recognition for service.
I have a personal announcement. Can I do my personal announcement?
Yes, oh, we'll recognize you for your
passed.
milestone.
Yeah, well, I just got my master's in cognitive neuroscience from Dartmouth College, and so I'm a master of science, and it's en route to my PhD, but it's I was absent the last meeting, and I just
You've
really
been
was
busy
kind of
working
plugging
and
it
writing,
away
yeah.
and defending and everything. So I'm very happy and proud. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Congratulations. Let's see, any other recognition for service? I'll just say the highway crew's been doing an awesome job. I was just down there. They had moved over from Highland Ave over to where the playground is behind the elementary school, and we're doing the work in there. So,
Also mention,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Recognize all of
well,
them.
you might want to
Yeah.
mention too, just as a comment, when they do start doing the sewer part of this work they're doing and they bring in Caracas,
yep,
there will be some properties where they will be digging on, and we'll be leaving it up to Caracas and the crews on site to let the homeowners know whose property is going to be impacted.
Actually, that's on us, but we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we
Yep.
can talk about that more, but
yep.
Also, I have a recognition for service. Somebody on our very own select board who was out there pounding
yeah.
Yeah.
nails
Yes.
on the new
Yes.
pavilion.
Oh, pavilion at the school.
Yeah,
All
and a lot
pavilion
of other
workers.
people were too, but you're the one
Yeah.
sitting next to us, so
lot of
thank
other
you so
people.
much.
A lot,
And
yeah.
Let's give
Kiwanis,
up
I
every
know,
weekend.
donated some money when they
Yep.
from their committee, and yay! Thank you so much.
Well,
for
big
working
shout
hard.
out to all the volunteers, especially Steve Roberto,
Yep.
who's been the general contractor, and the PTO as well. I know it's been a long, hot project over most of the summer, and it's nearly complete, and just in time for the ice cream social on Monday. I think it's the 25th, when the elementary school
Nice.
kids
So
come.
you're gonna be there at ice cream social, right?
Yeah,
It's possible.
Awesome. Yeah. That would be good.
I'll bring the Frangelico.
that'll be your reward. We're gonna get ice cream. Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna move into executive sessions, two of them not to return to open session. The first one is for contract negotiation under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, parenthetically 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. And the second executive session will be for real estate under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A6, for the emergency medical services location to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real estate if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. So do we need? So declared by the chair. And we
Dan?
need to do a roll call.
Dan Campbell says yes.
David McCarthy, yes?
Bernie Boudreau, yes.
B, yes?
Sarah, yes.
Okay. So,
Motion to adjourn to executive session and not to return.
correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, well,
Dan Campbell says yes.
yeah.
David McCarthy, yes?
Bernie Boudreau, yes.
B, yes?
Sarah, yes.
Yes. Okay. I thought we covered that, but that's okay. That's great. Thank you.